They are here to run it back. Another 3 points that they're looking for as we jump into game number 1.
Yeah. And here we go though. Like as I mentioned, the only teams to have not dropped a game, getting into zeros, and sorry, not true zeros, but rather getting 2 wins, 1-2-1, I believe, and then 1-2-0, garnering them 6 points, being the ones in the lead into our leaderboards, which we'll be revisiting later on down the line. But here you go. We're gonna be seeing some bans here, very normal stuff. The Hoopa, the Leafeon, and the Cheryledge. But Dodrio, I think, is more of a respect ban here into the side of Paper Rex.
Yeah, and now Paper Rex go in for the likes of Mimikyu. It's still available for them to pick up. It's a hyper priority when it comes to these first few picks, and that is exactly what we're looking for in our Shifu. So really, what Paper Rex is locked in is really amazing stuff coming down into the first game. That is what Blacklist International has led through. Very interesting ban coming in from Blacklist as well, going in for the Hoopa instead. Aside from the likes of Mimikyu, if they want to prioritize the likes of Umbreon, so they have to pick their poison. They have to look for something else, and Blissey and Lucario will come out right after.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. And here you go though. As we have mentioned, it is going to be that of the Lucario and the Blissey, which, honestly, it's one of their comfort picks as well. So it's not good. It's not really surprising, but still, it's an amazing Pokemon to have. Quite making sure that you are sustained, you are balanced out here and there. So this is gonna be interesting though. Like they are using the Metagross here with a Meteor Mash, really amazing early game, and of course we have the Compute and Crush, a Unite move, which can essentially become a crowd control for them as well. Helping down the Blissey and of course that of the Umbreon. But into the side of Paper Rex though, this is going to be the Armarouge. Armarouge's first appearance in day number 2. I believe my friend here is muted. I think he's saying something. he's currently muted over on the platform. There we go.
So basically, I believe like Blacklist International will have a hard time in terms of how they're setting things up, how they're going to play game number 1, especially how Paper Rex built their composition with Mimikyu and Trevenant. These are two set Pokemon that could really do a lot of work in terms of that team fights. For Blacklist International, they're really gonna have a hard time. Yes, in terms of that early game, they have Sylveon and Umbreon to do a lot of work. But overall, middle of the game, Paper Rex will scale up. They have Urshifu, they have Trevenant, they have Armarouge that could deal a massive impact.
No, see, here's the thing though. Like I think this Armarouge would gun in for the Armor Cannon and Psyshock instead of the usual Fire Spin and Flame Charge. They might still they might still go for the Fire Spin and the Flame Charge though, but I think in this kind of competition, it's more, I guess in my opinion, better to have Armor Cannon and Psyshock just so that they would have a backlane damage, right? Because they already have the Trevenant, they already have the Mimikyu, which can like just go in and out. They have the Urshifu as well, which is the front liner, but they don't have a backlane damage, so it would make sense for them to go in for that Armor Cannon and Psyshock. Though Fire Spin, I don't think we can dismiss or discount the prowess that Fire Spin can do, especially that if it can just go in with the eject button anyway, right?
Yeah, for sure. And as for Blacklist International, they really have to do a lot of impact here in this early game, capitalize onto the time that Armarouge and even the likes of Urshifu and Trevenant needs a bit of time to be able to reach that point. So Sylveon and Umbreon has to roam around the map and do something. Find something, find those KOs and find those eliminations to start them up at a huge lead to snowball down the road.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. But here we go though. Like Blacklist International is still trying to find their footing. Because I believe like this is like one of the biggest problems that Blacklist International has in comparison to other teams, right? In the rest for the rest of the tournament, right? Like Blacklist International. Yes, they may have played on tournaments, but not as much as internationally, right? In comparison to the teams that are playing here right now. So Blacklist International, it's really quite understandable what happened yesterday, but this time though, it cannot be another reason for them to lose. They have to adjust. They're already here, right? So they have to adjust. They have to make what they can do for this tournament. So definitely no nervousness is going to be allowed here. They need to put up their best like they're doing in local tournaments.
Yeah, and they need Umbreon to roam around. Those min
Right.
luck would change things up in terms of that impact, so they need someone else to be able to stay put into the bottom path and play that defensive, play that goalkeeper into the tier 1 goal zone. But right now, Paper Rex is going to deny the central birds away from Blacklist.
Hmm. And here you go though. Going to be able to try to get Mbochi here, but still not going to be enough though. The Urshiva is going to be able to take down that Metang as well. It's going to be Paper Rex having a bit of a lead here. Not only in the points but also in terms of the well, the execution wise, right? Like, look at this though. They are not scared of Blacklist International. They know that they can take them out even inside of a team score goal. So they're
Yeah.
they're essentially just ignoring. They were ignoring the Blissey. They
Hmm.
didn't care for it.
Yeah,
They
that's
just went
really
in.
unfortunate. But now, we mentioned this a while ago. Ryu will be very important. Those min locks have huge impacts here, and now they're stepping foot to go into that rotation.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. But here we go into that of the top path. We're gonna see a bit of a skirmish here. Are they gonna be able to take them out? Let's find out. Or should we gonna be able to take down that Lucario though with a wicked blow? But it's not just gonna be it because we still have the Reggie Lucky in our sights. So Blacklist International, they need to take this one up if they want to win against a Paper Rex.
And Paper Rex is still just going in for the Regieleki. They know that they have the advantage in terms of that power since Blacklist International are staying put and retreat. Regieleki will go through. Them getting that tier 1 goal zone is massive since Regieleki will now push through into the tier 2 goal zone. They still have a lot of points just served into their own inventory now. It will be Urshifu.
Psycho! It's gonna be used here, going to be able to deal a lot of damage. You're gonna be able to take the Umbreon, and the Metallic is gonna be taken out by that of the Mimikyu as well. 3 for non-trade in favor of Paper Rex, not only in terms of the damage, but the score. Look at this, 225 to 42. Oh man, that's a huge deficit right there.
Yeah, huge. Paper Rex already at a massive lead. 180-point lead is massive considering 4 minutes into the game, Dream.
Oh my goodness, that is going to be the Sylveon taken out again. So this is what I'm trying to say, right? Like Paper Rex, they have been playing for a while, and well, honestly, even Blacklist International, they have been playing for quite a while. But the experience-wise, that is where they differ, right? Paper Rex, huge high stakes tournaments, high stakes international tournaments of experience, but Blacklist Internationals, they are still green, a bit greenish in terms of that, and they are being challenged right here, right now against Paper Rex, and Paper Rex is just eating them up for free
Mochi.
on an intern. There we go.
And now Sylveon has to force out the Unite move to gain some sustainability, but Armorage just brings him down, and Paper Rex gains the lead. Another tier 1 goal zone brought down. Paper Rex, 250-point advantage up against Blacklist in 5 minutes.
Dude, this is a to take the name of the player from Buriam United Esports. This is a very sad story as we are witnessing right now. This is quite a huge leech, not only in XP but also in points. That, as I keep on pointing out, and not only that, Paper Rex is always pushing away Blacklist International. And the thing is, here's the thing, right? Like, they are scared of Paper Rex. And I always say this: there's a difference between being scared and being careful. And right now, Blacklist is scared of Paper Rex. They don't want to take any risks at all, which allows Paper Rex to just punish them just like that right now. Yes, they might have been able to take down this Eldegoss, but until when, right? When the time is right, here comes the team fight. They're going to attack another one. There you go. Computer and Crash is going to be popped up here. But is that going to be enough, though? That's the thing. Here we go. Armor cannons popped up.
Will not connect to anyone. Unite move wasted coming in from Sant. Now, Blacklist International, with the time that they were able to buy, going in for Regieleki.
Finally, the first objective here for
Armor
Black
Leech on the
International. They're going to be able to take down one, though. That is quite a huge trade. Lucario is now out, but here you go. Winter Press is going to be popped up as well. But even Fist as well to bring up that Metagross, even though it's very heavy, it's not going to be enough, though. There you have it, ladies and gents. Yes, sir. Blacklist International might have been able to take down Regieleki, but I believe Paper Rex was just using it as a bait to get down 2 KOs of their own. Paper Rex still wins that team fight.
Yeah, and now Paper Rex would hover down into the bottom path. They want another objective for their own. Now Blissey isolated.
Oh, wow. It's, man, it's, man. I'm not quite sure what to make of this though. Like again, like I believe I've seen this team, right? Like Isan Elemento and all that. Like Blacklist International, they play good. I know for a fact that they play good, but right now we are not seeing how they used to play, right? So I want to see that. I want to see this team that's not nervous, that's not scared. I want to see them play as usual. I want them to forget that they're playing in ACL in Asia Champions League and just play like they used to, especially with Lance. Lance is one of the top Lucarios in the Philippines. So, to see them getting demolished like this is quite a very sad sight to see. So, really, you know, uh, Paper Rex though is not going to let that happen. That's the thing. They're currently the defending champions of Asia, and man, they won't let just anyone to take
Leech,
them down.
Ryu in danger, now isolated. Paper Rex is readily waiting onto the back lines, but Ryu, the answer back from Blacklist, gets one KO already. This will be very difficult for them. Blacklist International readily waiting for the Rayquaza fight.
Oh no, yeah, I mean that's what we have been saying since earlier. Like Paper Rex right now has the control over that other Rayquaza, but Blacklist wants to take the risk finally in this Rayquaza.
Now, Rayquaza comes up. Paper Rex at a massive advantage still. They have the 150-point lead up against Blacklist International.
Mhm.
And looking at the position, looking at the points that were able to be reserved for Blacklist International at this late game, still not going to be enough to close down the distance. So they have to do something. They have to force out the fight. They still have a bit of time here, a minute and 40 seconds before the conclusion of game one.
Oh, here we go though. The Armor Rouge just firing in and out of that armor cannon along with the side shot just to get a bit of a crowd
Omicron.
control. Here gets a stand, but here you go, another one here, another go, Psycho Boom, taking down three, but not gonna be able to be enough to take down anyone at all. The car's gonna be taken down though. There's gonna be 1-for-1 trade, but here you go. The play with me is gonna be popped up here, but no follow up. But here comes the Earth Shape who finally gets the wicked fist, but not gonna be enough. That is gonna be 4 down into Blacklist International with only the Blissey up left. Paper Rex can now take this Rayquaza for themselves quite freely, as Mimikyu is just gonna be playing around with that of the Blissey and the X.
The position of Paper Rex was phenomenal. Their playstyle coming through. And yes, Umbreon set up the play, getting 2 isolation targets from Blacklist, or rather from Paper Rex in that fight. However, the Phantom Forest came through as a counter engage. You also have Eldegoss's Unite move to counter attack Blacklist International's set. And then right after, Armouge came in, or Shifu came in. And after that, it was just disaster for Blacklist. And that won Paper Rex the game.
Oh, yes, indeed. I totally agree with you 100%. Paper Rex was in control of the game, right? From the early game to the mid game up until the Rayquaza. Blacklist was not able to do anything at all, and Paper Rex is, well, there's no question about it. It's Paper Rex. They're a really great team, and as I mentioned, they are currently the crown kings of Asia, and they are just showing up. They're living up to their name as well.
I mean, dominating fashion and dominating win all throughout. If you're looking at a points accumulation all throughout the game, it was Paper Rex who constantly was able to find something out from every single period of this matchup. What, a couple of minutes in, they were already able to get 2 goal zones onto the top patch just because of the utilization of the Regieleki in that early matchup. And after that, Blacklist International lost the problem, right? It was Blacklist who needs it, and PRX just needs to go for those eliminations, just needs to commit for those KOs instead of really just going for the objective.
Which is why they didn't really need it. Really, as I mentioned, they didn't really need it. They allowed it to be taken out, but at the same time, like they have all the leeway, they have all the breathing rooms, even if they can't take it, even if they do give it away, right? So it's not really a problem for Paper Rex at that point, and just is used as a bait. But here we go, though. It's still going to be more or less the same bands here. We have the Hoopa, the Umbreon, the Leafeon, and of course that of the Dodrio, which is
good adjustment.
Been quite a problematic Pokemon, right? For day number 1, the ones who were able to get is, were try to attack and everything, just gets in and get out, scoring some points, which is, well, the game with the game, right? But here we go though. A Mimikyu going into the side of Plants, going to steal it away, actually coming from that of a Paper Rex, and of course, they're going to be able to still secure that Urshifu and the Blissey.
There's really good adjustment coming from Blacklist
Ooh,
International.
wow.
Just going in with a bans on the Umbreon, picking out the Mimikyu, Ho-Oh, and Zero Ledge. So this really just stays put when it comes to those frontliners and in terms of damage. But
Right.
Paper Rex just building onto that hefty type of composition, going in with a double defender alongside with Blissey.
Wait, are we gonna be able? Ah, wow. I was thinking, right? I was thinking earlier we might be able to see another one of those Venusaur Blissey, but I just saw the Blissey is on Paper Rex's side, so we might be able to see a we might be able to actually see a never mind. If it were a Venusaur, I was thinking we might be able to see a Solar Beam Venusaur. We haven't seen that in quite a while, but it's gonna be the Espeon.
Why?
This is actually a very good, or at least like a balanced composition into the side of Blacklist. They have the sustain. They have Ho as well, which can essentially revive everyone who's KO'd, right? Especially on the Rayquaza fight for later on. And they do have the damage that is, of course, the Mimikyu, which is very devastating in the hands of Lance, as we've seen yesterday, and of course sent into that of the Cerulege. But going into the side of Paper Rex, dude, this is very, very tanky. They have the Blissey, they have the Lapras, and they do have the Trevenant as well, allowing Urshifu and the Sylveon to freely damage.
Yeah, it's a front to back type of composition. Very straightforward. You have Trevenant and Lapras to set up the plays. Urshifu will follow through as a type of a bruiser for Paper Rex here. But I'm seeing a big problem for Blacklist International, right? They pick up the Ho-Oh. Really, really amazing stuff. But here's the problem. Ho-Oh needs to survive all throughout on those team fights. We saw it yesterday. We capitalized really well and utilized really well. But Ho-Oh needs to survive. But if you're looking at our composition, there's only one defender. Typically, when you want to utilize the Ho-Oh, you want the double, well, at least an all-rounder and another defender to really prolong on those team fights. Because Ho-Oh is really strong in that prolonged matchup.
Yeah, in that regard,
But the thing is, Paper Rex went in with a double defender. You had an extra sustain, and then you also have Urshifu. So it's pretty much like bruiser, defender. These very hefty type of Pokemon. We're in Blacklist International. Can they really put Ho-Oh in the back end? Because there's no one else that could go and be an alternative in the front lines in those team fights.
And in addition to that, right, we have to remember that for Ho-Oh to be able to revive some of their teammates, they need to have, I believe, at least like 45 EOS energy to revive 4 Pokemon into their sides. And as I mentioned, it has to survive. It has to survive a prolonged team fight, which Paper Rex is not going to allow. I'm pretty sure they are acknowledging that the moment that the Ho has been picked.
Yeah. And we'll see what Blacklist International could do it. But this composition is definitely much better in terms of complementing each other, right? Because they have the Cerulege that could deal damage, Mimikyu that can lock in onto one. So in terms of just stacking onto something, Paper Rex, if they lose Urshifu or even Sylveon at this point, which would be the second priority in terms of targeting for Blacklist International, it would be a really good advantage and a huge benefit for Blacklist International to win on those team battles. So it's a high priority that Mimikyu can do a lot of work in game number 2 to change things up and Cerulege to follow suit onto Mimikyu's set.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. But here you go though. Not I do like Ho-Oh here being able to provide a lot of like utility as well into the side of their own team. But again, it would all depend on how they're going to be able to like sustain the entire team later down the line. But Paper Rex here, sorry, I do like to point out as well, like Blacklist International. I like what they're doing right now. They're not
nice level up. Oh my,
they're not poking in though. They're not they're not really they don't extend forward that much, allowing Paper Rex to punish them. And as I mentioned, beautiful evolution there, getting some iframes as well to survive, just to get away. But here you go, another team fight is going to be popping up here as Ho-Oh is going to be taken out. They know for a fact they need to take out the Ho-Oh first immediately, and there you go, 3 is down into the side of Blacklist International.
Yeah, this is a huge problem. Blacklist International, if they lose the Ho-Oh, there's no one that can be the alternative. Like Mimikyu can be that argument. And you know what? Mimikyu Sankey. Mimikyu can get some damage, but Mimikyu has to be there in those fights. But who else is going to defend the top path? Who else is going to defend the bottom path? You can't have every single one of 4 Blacklist International to constantly roam.
No, that is true. That is true. I totally agree with you. But even though even that's the case, Paper Rex is just maintaining the same thing. Blacklist International might be a little bit more aggressive this time around, but at least Paper Rex is still putting up a blank here, putting up a line where Blacklist International cannot cross. And as I say that,
Thank
it's
you.
almost taking out again. Look at that with a fairy. My goodness, that is the mystical fire gonna be able to take down that Ho-Oh. And here you
Clutch.
go. Might be able to see another one here. 1 for 2 trading here. We have the Sylveon and that of the Trevenant gonna be taken out. And finally, Blacklist International is gonna be the first one to take down an objective into this game. And look at that though. We have Labyrinth to Disturb coming up as well. And here you go. Another Unite move coming from that of the Espeon. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be enough though. No follow-up. 1 for 1 trade for both of the teams. But here it is. The Ho-Oh just putting up some fire.
Yeah, and at this point, like PRX was just buying time. If we saw a while ago, Lapras was going on top pack, getting some points in, getting some dunks in. So Paper Rex was at the member disadvantage on those team battles in, I believe, Regice was it, into the bottom path when they were fighting each other. So it was just buying time for Lapras to get those dunks in and go for the Lapras Express to go down south and defend the goal zone. And if we're looking at the points, it's still Paper Rex who's still at a 67-point lead.
Right. Yeah, I mean, at this point, they still have some breathing room, which allows them to, make a bit of mistakes here. Obviously, ideally, they don't do any mistakes at all. But this time, though, I don't. That is the leeway that they have, right? So right now, Blacklist International wants to take in this strategy, like, and they have to if they want to win against that of the Paper Rex, or at least catch up to them going into this game. But unfortunately, though, the Paper Rex is going to be the one taking down that Reggie Lecky, providing them some pressure against that of Blacklist.
They can't overextend. Ho is not there. No more defenders coming in through for Blacklist International. Paper Rex setting up the play. Goes in.
Oh, look at that. The Lapras Express is going to be popped up as well just to allow this Reggie Lecky to go in. And finally, they are able to destroy the first two score go off.
Right.
Look at that. Wicked Blow is going to be popped up as well. Huge damage. And that is a Mimikyu going down in the process. But here comes saying, sorry, no, Curse Song is going to be able to end that Ledge in the process. Sorry, Parry Song is the name of the
Oh,
move.
nice.
It's going to be 2 KO, coming in from Blacklist. That's going to be the answer back here. But Ho-Oh off cam is going to be taken out as well.
Yeah, that was really good coming in from Espeon from ramp. That double KO streak he was able to do onto the backside, just setting up the sneak attack and just waiting patiently on the sidelines. Paper Rex now on a deficit. Regirock will be open for Blacklist.
Oh yeah, for sure. But here you go though. At least Blacklist International does have the advantage instead of the Regirock, going to allow them to survive just a bit more with the defense and special defense buffs here. But the question is, should they overextend and over follow up on this going into that of this core goal? The answer
Oh,
it seems to be is no. But look at that though. The Bliss is going to be taken out inside the Paper Rex, but that's all fine and good as they still have the lead.
oh, very dangerous stuff there coming from Bocce, the only one who defends the tier 1 goes on into the bottom path, so that will be an opportunity for Blacklist International. Phantom Forest goes up.
Oh my goodness, here we go. Another one. Trevenant was able to buy so much time that they were able to just, get some reinforcement, gets the answer back. Esmer is getting popped up as well here as the Terror Ledge as well. There's going to be 3 and 4 and there goes the Ignite move. There's going to Flame, going to revive everyone up, but it doesn't matter as everyone gets taken out once again, and Ho-Oh is now the only one left. Paper Rex is going to destroy this first tier's 4 goal down bottom, and again, beautiful play coming in from that of the Trevenant, buying as much time, buying a lot of time for their teammates to come down and help them out, and from there on out, just wasted Ho-Oh's Unite move.
And this is the situation we're in. Lapras is incredible in the composition. When you have Ho-Oh going in with Rekindling Flame, reviving every single one, Perry's Song with those execution will instantly bring down these members. And that is exactly what happened there. Blacklist International going for those revives. Paper Rex, simple, minimal amount of damage, going in with a Perry's Song, instant execute. So Blacklist International, what a huge disadvantage in the team fight, in the bottom fight, where Intrevenant was able to buy so much time with just the 4 reach, with so much sustain, with the Phantom Forest knocking everybody up.
Right, and that's one more thing that I have to point out, right, with Ho-Oh, is that that's another disadvantage of having Ho-Oh. Yes, sure, you might be able to revive everyone, but you cannot score points, because if you score points, you won't be able to revive everyone. right? With rekindling flame. But here we go though. Blacklist International finally going to be able to get in their second points of the game, putting them at 123 to 191 in favor of Paper Rex.
Hmm. And now, at the very least, Blacklist International has set foot and he's closed down the distance into only a 68-point disadvantage in 2 minutes. So Paper Rex still has to fight the Rayquaza, or at the very least has to
Right,
still try to go and play against Blacklist
right.
International in this objective.
Sorry, I have to correct myself. It wasn't 45 AO's energy, but only 25 for you to be able to revive four of your teammates. And here you go. Everyone has their Unite moves ready, up and running.
Shifu!
Here, play with me coming in here. Going to be played here by that of the Mimikyu. Going to be able to take down that Urshifu. But there we go. Another one here. Luntar's Express and the Final Force are going to be popped up as well. But there you go. It's still not going to be enough, though, to take down anyone at all inside of Paper Rex. But it's not going to be enough, though. It's those Sarah though. Sarah Ledge, Sand is
Song?
already down. Every song's gonna be popped up. Rekindling Flame to revive those Pokemon from the side of Black International is gonna be able to put them up as well, up and running. But the thing is, Paper Rex was able to see this from a mile away and ensuring that they can get in some healing from that of the soft boil. And now look at this. Soft boil is gonna be popped up, and the Unite move coming in from that of Solo, the Sylveon, just to be able to survive, gonna be able to take down
Solo!
and in the process, they don't even need the Rayquaza at this point, but just push down away, push away that of Blacklist International. Now Ho-Oh is might as well, along with that of the LDS, going to be this Rayquaza. Let's find out. No, they will not. That is the Even Fist coming in from that of their Shifu and the Wicked Blow to finally finish the job against that of the Ho-Oh. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Paper Rex just put it in the points.
There's just not enough damage for OO to have that potential to get that steal in for the Rayquaza. Paper Rex, really phenomenal job into taking it down. Once again, we mentioned about the Perish Song really playing into a miracle work, doing a lot of damage. Once the revive happens on Rekindling Flame, Lapras is doing so much in terms of that prolonged fight. And Paper Rex, in terms of their composition, an exact counter on what Blacklist International has brought up in Game 2.
No, yeah, I mean, it's. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I was going to suggest, right, like instead of the Ho-Oh, right, instead of the Ho-Oh, that could have been like a Hoopa, but Hoopa is already banned. So I mean, I guess if they really wanted to that sustain, then Ho-Oh is definitely a choice there, definitely a pick, or maybe perhaps a Clefable. But then again, with the purpose of that of Ho-Oh being able to like revive and get a bit of a sustain here, it's all good. But Paper Rex already saw that, right? And ensuring that, okay, we take